New Year, Gooners football fans. This is Shotta with my friend and colleague Blackburn George, doing for the final time for the year 2021, George, the Positively Uncensored podcast. We went YouTube in 2021, George, and we are creating waves. The delusions of grandeur by Shotta. How are you, my friend?
I'm all right.
George, how was your holidays? Mine, if you were following me on Twitter, I was not well. But happily I had my family here. They took care of me. That's why I'm here today. Chatting away and chuckling at every poor joke that I make. How about you?
Yeah, not bad. Quiet.
Yeah,
I'm not risking going out with COVID, so I just sit in the house and argue with people on Twitter.
And argue well you do, because I saw a couple of stuff that you posted, which we'll not talk about right now. But since you mentioned it, since you mentioned it, George, I have to say this, because before we go into the topic, Man City or top four, actually you made a major tweet this week that we, at least since the last international break, I remember that vividly, we recognized the improvements in the team, and you were somebody who said your criticism of Arteta will be discredited if you don't recognize the improvements. And at the same time, these other people are all piling on us because we were critical of the quality of play, the lack of goal scoring opportunities, the lack of goal chances created. What was all that all about, George?
Well, it's as simple as this. This is what we were asking for. This is what this squad merits. Mm-hmm. This is the way we should be playing, and we should always have been playing with these players. Mm-hmm. And it makes me laugh now because they're going, we told you this was a good team. No, you didn't. You told us the team wasn't good enough. You told us these players weren't good enough. You told us it wasn't Arteta's fault. It was the players. So now, all of a sudden, that's debunked. The players are good, all of them.
Right.
And that's what we always said.
From the very onset, yes. Mm-hmm.
That we were playing worse than the squad should have given us. So it's madness, really, that people are now saying, we told you so, when actually... No, we told you so. Yeah. This is what we should be doing. And this is great because this is how it should be. Let's not get carried away. I mean, we haven't played anybody yet who's either a good team or a decent team playing well. We've caught everybody not playing very well. But today, we play a good team.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow we'll play a good team and we'll see. We'll see. Is it real improvement or are we just a bit better and confident playing against lesser teams? It's to be hoped that we are, let's not want to prove a point. Let's hope that it's a genuine improvement and we give City a game and get something from the game. We're playing at home with a fantastic record at home. We've always had a great record at home. Apart from a little spell under Mikel where we couldn't win a game.
You're right, right. When we went
generally saying Arsenal at the Emirates is a game for anybody. Even the best teams coming to the Emirates struggle to beat us. So let's see how Manchester City go on. Fortunately, for us, Rodri is out. João Cancelo probably won't play because he's been beaten up by 4.
Yeah, wounded too, George. He had a wound at the side of his head.
Yeah, and a bruise on his jaw.
Yes.
So I mean, I say fortunately, bloody hell, not fortunate for the poor kid, is it?
Yeah, he's a young fellow.
Yeah, I mean, traumatic to say the fucking least.
Yeah,
You know,
girlfriend and a baby.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I've been in some rough and tough tussles in my time.
Most
And
people don't. Most people don't. Most people don't know that. They
you know,
think, yeah, you're.
it's not particularly traumatic, but the occasions where there's been people there who are helpless and became involved in it, that is traumatic because you
Yes.
can protect yourself, but your intention is to help them. And
Yes.
when you can't, when somebody in your company or gets traumatized or hurt, that leaves a scar that's difficult to get over because you feel remorse, you feel all the negative
Yes. Yes.
negative things going, and he'll be in that situation. I can't see any way that he can play.
No, his head, his mind won't be there, and especially if the girlfriend is still on the country. And is, I mean, people need to understand he's from Portugal. He's not, he's residing in Manchester for work purposes. He's not even, Anyway, George, we don't. Yeah. Well, that's Manchester City's defense, and I understand John Stones may or may not play. He was injured or something. George, the thing that before we go into the game, the thing that I got from what you said a while ago, and I want to share with the audience is we never got carried away, or we tried not to get carried away. I'm not saying we didn't get carried away, but we tried to not get carried away. We tried to not get carried away with the Arteta out thing. And you and I specifically refuse to get in, fall into that trap. And I know we have good friends, very, very good friends of ours who are, rapidly Arteta out. At the same time, we were always saying, let's not, the improvements are there, and let's hope we can get better. You even revise your projections because you were saying we could barely make top 10 at one point, and now you're saying top 6 is likely.
Yeah, I would say so.
And maybe top 4. Go ahead, George.
Yeah, I said a few weeks ago that we were in a false position, but if we took advantage of that false position, we could it'd be like a lottery win, and we seem to be taking advantage of that. Everybody's getting excited. They're now looking at Liverpool and Chelsea as we could even catch them, let alone stay in front of Spurs and Manchester United. Yes. And to be fair, the next game up for them, they play each other, so they can't both win.
Right. So only one can make up ground, or they could be at standstill.
Yeah, or they both drop a point, or one of them certainly, or one of them drops 3 points. Sorry, both 2 points, or one of them drops 3 points, which will put them nearer to us. So we can get even more excited about that. But we have to beat Manchester City to do that.
Well, and, George,
that's a task in itself.
That's a tall task, and it's Man City are top 4. That's really not a black and white or two mutual exclusive options. By the way, I mean this is just for an argument sake, clearly, but Manchester win or lose to Manchester City tomorrow is not the end of our top 4 hopes. They are a formidable team. They are a formidable team, George. I mean, I watched them. I watched the game against Brentford, and you had Sterling and Mahrez, sitting on the bench with a long wistful look on their face. They have an abundance of riches, even though they might lose 2 very good defenders.
Yeah, they're clearly the best team in the league. I mean, it's not even close. Since the start of the season, they've been trying to build it up into this great title race it's going to be between Chelsea, City and Liverpool like as if they're three super teams. They're not. They're one super team and two very good teams trying to chase them down. They're a different class. They simply are a different class. And of course, they're beatable. Every team's beatable.
Yes. Crystal Palace beat them by a shocker.
Yeah. You know, any team can lose at any given time. Let's hope they lose at this particular given time to us, because it would be good for us. It would be good for the league. And it would put us into the new year with some real New Year's cheer.
It would be. You know, I look at chit chat before the game. I will share with the audience. You were concerned that they were not horrible, but they were bad by their standards against Brentford.
Yeah.
You'd have liked for them to have a bad game against us.
Yeah, I was hoping
that, George.
I was hoping that. I mean, every team. It used to happen with us all the time. We'd go on a run where we would batter people, then all of a sudden we'd throw in a result that you think, how did that happen? Because we seem to get complacent. And I was hoping they would get complacent against us. But it seemed that they did that against Brentford instead. I mean, it was a comfortable win. It was only 1-0.
Yeah, but Brentford had, Brentford had a spell just before.
Yeah, they had 5
chances. Yeah, 3 chances, but that was it.
But City, I mean, they weren't even out of first gear. Never mind in second. They were cruising. They were 80-odd% possession.
80-odd% possession. Jesus Christ!
It was almost as if he said, "Look, we've got another game at the weekend. Just stroll about, keep the ball for a while."
Yeah. He didn't make any subs though.
No, he didn't. So I think what my reading of that was, he's done that before. I've seen him do that before.
Yeah.
When you look at his bench and you think, my God, and then he doesn't make any subs, you think, oh, why not? And then of course you think about the schedule and think, well, he's saving them, isn't he?
He plays.
They've got the top scorers, Mahrez and Sterling will come back in.
Yes.
Gundogan, who's a terrific player.
Yes.
He'll come back in, probably.
Bernardo Silva will probably drop. That
drop a bit
the
deeper.
boy from that they picked up from Aston Villa will probably go. You know what? He didn't have a great game, he didn't have a great game, by the way.
They've got
105
Kyle Walker might be back, and Shevchenko.
Yeah.
I mean, John Stones is out. Yeah, that only leaves them the 2 first-choice central defenders.
Yeah.
Like what, £100 million worth of central defenders. They're just, it's frightening, really. I mean, is there a weak link? Maybe Fernandinho at 36, playing his 3rd game in a week. Maybe.
Yes. Do they have another DM? They don't have another DM. George, I saw him yesterday when he backed in and stamped Tony, and I just remembered something you and I spoke about, how he is on the edge a dirty player, and people, and then when our boy Jackass does it, and we can remember some of the things we gets into people's faces. We are all saying how, he's on the verge of getting a red card, blah blah blah, and Fernandinho does this every game. I mean, the way he backed into Tony and stamped on him was a yellow card offense, and then Tony had to take out his own revenge by kind of rolling his studs just a little bit over his shin. It was, the two of them should have gotten a yellow card. Crazy fellas. But
Fernandinho makes Xhaka look like an angel.
That's right.
if you're fair-minded, he's dirtier, he's nastier, he fouls more often. It's more tactical fouling, and but he's regarded as this legend of Manchester City. And Xhaka does this.
Yeah.
Or anything similar, and
Yeah.
like you say, he's always a red card waiting to happen. And it's stupid fouls. What gets me is that Xhaka makes tactical fouls in absolutely crucial moments.
Yes.
And people say it's a needless foul.
Idiots.
No, you think, hang on a minute. Did you look at the position of the players and what would have happened if he hadn't made that foul?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't pointless at all. It just looks as if he does it more clumsily than
right.
Shall we say. It's more obvious that he's done it. There's no room for any doubt. Like with Fernandinho, you think, did he mean that? Yeah, he did, but he's clever at it. Xhaka, you don't have to think, does he mean it? Well, yeah, he meant it because he just yanked him off his feet.
And then remonstrates with the guy. And, of all our players, he's the one who's most willing to stand up to the bullying tactics of some teams. There are teams that want to kick us off the field, by the way. A boy, those fellas from Norwich tried that shit and he got in their faces. Took a yellow card for it, but he said, no, I'm not having it.
I think those four thugs that beat up Jean Cosello are lucky they didn't go into Jackass' house.
Yes. But this is a theme that we're, people might think we're just taking, he's our favorite player, but it is a theme that we've had over the past year. If Xhaka, whose name was Jacadino, people would be celebrating him, in my opinion.
Yeah, but it's water under the bridge, this argument, isn't it? We've been having it for 3 years.
It is.
And, you're not going to change people's opinions. You see it all the time. See, Joshua is shit, and then somebody will come on and say he's world class, and you're like, how can there be such a diversion of opinions?
Yeah. But Arteta plays him. He was supposed to be out till January.
I tell you what was funny. I saw one of his critics on Twitter, a guy who I think's all right normally, but he's always at Xhaka. But somebody had been left out of a team, and he said, when the manager doesn't pick him, maybe it's because he's shite, eh? And I thought to myself, well, what about if 3 managers always pick a player? Yeah. Does that not mean that he might be good? Yeah.
George, we are suffering from COVID. Arsenal. Well, management. I understand that Steve Rowan also, he might have had it before. And we might see a fellow I don't know him. I know there's a big rotund fellow that sometimes is giving the players instructions. So I don't know if it's him on the Arsenal bench. I have no idea what his name is. Albert Stuvenberg will be probably leading the team on the bench on Saturday. Will that make a difference? Also, Tommy is out with COVID as well. And Aubameyang is already off with the Gabon national team for the AFCON. But COVID, will that make a difference?
It will, because Mikel Arteta isn't there, and he stands on the touchline with his PlayStation controller. So, I mean, how are they going to cope if they don't know every pass to make and every position to run into?
Yes.
It might actually work in our favour. We might play with more freedom. But if we lose, we can blame Arteta being missing.
Right.
And if we win, we can praise Arteta for changing the culture of the club and making us a world-beating team again. It's all good, Shotta.
Well, we don't have to have any negative thoughts entering the new year.
Let's plow on.
Yes.
with our positivity.
Right.
This is something that I was laughing at on Twitter the other day, mate. Right? We're clearly playing well. It doesn't matter who your opposition is. When you watched them play recently, we've played well. It's been entertaining. It's been good fun. And I've seen people that are upset about it.
Really?
You know, that they go, oh, it's only because of these, it's only because of that. And Arteta, what about when he did this 18 months ago? And the clinging on to this hatred of Arteta. Now, I don't like the guy.
Right.
But for goodness sake, enjoy the fucking moment. Enjoy the moment. Because tomorrow we might all be sitting with real hangdog looks on our face.
As you know, George, I mean, we're long in the tooth enough to know. You can go on a barren spell. No matter how good your team is, you just can't get the ball in the back of the net. And the best of Wenger teams had barren spells. So we have to enjoy it. And certainly, I mean, we have a chance at home against Man City.
I mean, there's so much to enjoy just at this moment.
Yes.
All the young lads playing well together.
Yes. Saka.
Smith Rowe, Martinelli, Odegaard. It's brilliant at the moment.
Yeah.
Suck it in because, it's like...
Ramsdale, don't forget him, George. Ramsdale got player of the month again.
Yeah. It's like when you go to a party and it's good.
Yeah.
Don't sit there thinking, yeah, but I went to a party 3 years ago and it was crap.
The same, yeah.
Just enjoy the one you're at.
Yeah, I went to the same people's party 3 years ago and it was crappy.
Yeah. I refuse to enjoy this party because 3 years ago it was shit.
Okay, George. Well, I think before we, I don't like dragging out these podcasts, especially when I can't come with a new angle. But we don't want to do predictions. But what do you think? What's the likely result?
The likely result is that we lose.
But
you never know. I'm going to say that despite the likely result, I think the fact that they're 8 points clear now of Chelsea and Liverpool.
Yes.
There's not as much pressure on them to win. They can relax a little bit. They might just not be bang at it. Fernandinho might just have run out of legs.
Mm-hmm.
We might be on the crest of a wave. Our young kids thinking that they're fucking world class, and they might play like the world class. And I'm going to go for a 2-1 Arsenal victory.
Jesus, George. Well, let's leave it at that very optimistic New Year's mood and wish. George hopes, wishes, thinks.
Yeah, it's wish, but let's be honest about it, though.
Yeah.
This is just wishful thinking. All logic tells me we're going to lose. Yeah. But I don't care. Wishful thinking is having us win.
New Year's cheers, George. Thank you very much. Let's get together again after the game and talk. Bye, George.
Yeah. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Everybody.
Yep. And remember to like and subscribe. Make us a bigger podcast in the new year. Thank you very much.